hit lightning. What's that saying?
Strike lightning, try get lightning,
Twice.
make lightning
Yeah,
strike twice.
yeah. And the next story I wanted to talk about is Tobey Maguire coming back for Spider-Man 4 and Andrew Garfield coming back for his Amazing Spider-Man 3 because, they appeared in No Way Home last year, or was that 2 years ago now? Jeez.
Probably
I
2 years,
They appeared in No Way
I'm
Home
guessing.
and it did stupid well. They did a good job in it and everyone's
Nobody
hyped
really
up again.
nobody really talks about it that much anymore. But I mean, like if
No, but now
it
now
was good
now
at the
they
time.
know the community is loud and everyone wants they're voicing their opinions that they want them to come back and continue their respective Spider-Man stories. So the actor who played Sandman in Spider-Man 3, Thomas Hayden Church, said he personally has heard rumors about Tobey Maguire returning with Sam Raimi for Spider-Man 4. Sam Raimi had an entire script and screenplay written, storyboards, lots of stuff done for Spider-Man 4 before it was eventually cut. They decided to do a complete reboot with Andrew Garfield. So that's why Spider-Man 4 never got made. But it seems like they're planning to pull those old plans out of the archive and make the movie because, Tobey and Andrew showed up last year. And I guess I look at that as like the test footage now. They were just seeing, oh, will we be able to continue with these actors? Will people show up?
I I mean, Tobey Maguire one would probably do really well out of the gate. I wouldn't be really excited for that. That's been tried and tested. We have great movies. It's done. Andrew Garfield could be interesting if they could make that work. Maybe
Yeah,
there's
because
still something there because he was perfect, but it just sort of the factors surrounding him just didn't really work too
yeah,
well.
you know, when I think of Tobey's trilogy, like I think of the third movie as the conclusion.
Yeah.
It had a good ending and it was a solid trilogy. The third movie was pretty rocky, but it
Mhm.
stood the test of time. People look at it now as not as bad as it used to be, and it wrapped up fine. Like Andrews kind of ended on a bit of a cliffhanger. It was obvious that a third movie was supposed to happen, but I think I was happy and am happy with where Toby's trilogy ended. So I'm not,
Exactly. And
you
it was
know,
nice to see him again, but we don't need an overload. And look, Andrew, to me, there's something that's interesting there. There's potential there. We
yeah,
haven't seen everything that he could do. And look, if we're gonna have to keep getting Spider-Man movies for all eternity, then let's get him with Andrew
yeah,
Garfield because I don't have an interest in seeing what's tried and tested. There was potential with Andrew Garfield that doesn't seem fully realized. That makes me curious to
yeah,
go and see it
exactly. I think he deserves it
immediately.
more, and
Yeah,
yeah, there's more potential there for sure.
and No Way Home left me wanting more from him. Not
Yeah,
necessarily
me
Tobey
too.
Maguire. Not saying that Tobey Maguire did a bad job. It was a great appearance. It was a good popcorn
Yeah.
movie. I enjoyed it, but I definitely would prefer seeing more out of Andrew Garfield. Tobey Maguire's like whatever. I mean,
I was a big fan of Andrew's movies. I showed up for all of them in the theater. I had a poster of Amazing Spider-Man 2 on my wall. I was a big fan. I really liked them. Um, and the second one ends with him losing Gwen, and then the final act is him, trying to overcome, the mourning and the grief. And then once he does, the movie ends. So I want to see like how that changed him as Spider-Man. And he talked about it a little bit in No Way Home, like how that experience changed him as Spider-Man. But I want to see that now. I like Toby's story, like he had three movies and he had a great arc. And I think the arc that Toby's character went through in the third movie was a great arc to end on. He lost himself with the symbiote and then he came back and realized like who he really was as a person. And then that's it. It seemed like a complete story. Do we want an old man Toby Spider-Man
no,
movie?
I have
I
no
don't
interest.
know.
And we're
Maybe
just
him mentoring a younger Spider-Man would be
I don't
cool.
know.
I just don't think it belongs in his universe. I
After the
think
past couple of weeks, I'm a little tired of bringing old characters back. I'll just leave it
yeah,
at that.
exactly.
That's not. I mean, Andrew Garfield's old, but I don't know. I just think there's more potential there. And And one thing I'll say for Spider-Man though, it still has some goodwill, so it could still do well at the box office. Mind you,
Yeah,
everything's just been failing
yeah,
lately. I mean,
yeah,
this past weekend, which we'll talk about later, I guess, but because me and you missed the boat on Barbenheimer, but that
yeah,
might have saved the movie industry. But we're gonna see them. Just things didn't
yeah.
work out. But
You know, another thought about Toby returning, those movies are so 2000s. The
yeah,
color grading, the style that they're shot in, the style of storytelling, so 2000s.
the
And
comedy and like even the camera work,
yeah,
I know it has that kind of 2000. Some scenes have that like 2000s, like college high
yeah,
school
it
movie kind of vibe.
exactly. And it felt a little off having Toby show up in the new Marvel Cinematic Universe because he's from a very, very different universe. So it just didn't. I'm just scared that they'll bring him back for a fourth movie and it won't have the same feel as the original three because they're just kind of like frozen in time, that trilogy, and that's my final thought on that.
Well,
Like,
now it's now they're now they won't stand alone as much now. Now if there's going to be another
yeah,
three movies made or another two,
everything's like interconnected now and it's never ending.
and I just
So
get bored. It's like I'm fatigued of that kind
yeah,
of thing,
it's not.
and it's just too much. I think at some point. But
Yeah, I agree with you. I definitely think if either of the two stories should be continued, it's Andrews for sure.
and and like a just I would really look forward to that, and it could be it could be a savior needed right now for the superhero world. And look at as far as again with Tobey Maguire, I feel like it would just be too much, and I'm starting to really respect, just kind of leaving people wanting more or
Yeah,
satisfied,
there's
and
nothing
that's
wrong
just
with that.
kind of